Today's subject, repurpose the pressure.
Amen.
I'm Pastor Jermaine.
And I'm Pastor Alicia.
And you are watching Lift, Life Inspiration for Today.
Yes, God.
Do you know that God will use the same pressure that the enemy uses to aggravate us,
Right.
to elevate us to the place that he has planned for us?
That's so true, and we all know the story of Joseph. How he was sold into slavery by his own brothers.
Wow.
And they thought that he would seek to repay them for the evil that they had done unto him.
Right.
Justified, you think?
Yeah.
But look at what Joseph tells them in Genesis chapter 50.
Verse 20 says, "But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive." So even though you meant it for evil, I've already assigned God's purpose to your evil plan.
And that's the perspective that you really have to have in order to face the various pressures in your life.
Yeah.
Because your perspective really will determine your outcome.
That's good.
Hebrews 12:1 encourages us to lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. It's the enemy's plan to use the pressures of life, these weights in our lives, to get as many of us as he possibly can off track, off focus.
Yeah.
And if we're not careful, completely off course.
Completely off course. But God gives us a different perspective on his plan to help us. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose." So if I operate according to his purpose, then I can repurpose the pressures in my life.
That's right.
Rather than them tearing me down, the pressures in my life will actually be used by God to lift me up.
Lift me up. That's so good. So this week,
This week.
repurpose the pressure in your life.
Yes.
When the pressures come, and they will,
Yeah.
it's okay to recognize the pressure, but you don't have to get stuck there. You don't have to stay in that place of overwhelming pressure.
Right.
You take the next step. Take it a step further and say, wait a minute. I know all things work together. Romans 8:28 for my good.
Yeah.
And I choose to recognize that the same pressure that was intended to keep me down is the same pressure that God will use to lift me up out of this circumstance.
My God. And just like that airplane that just left the runway,
Right.
you may encounter significant pressure for a while. But if you keep the right perspective on the pressures in your life and you face them with God and faith in God's plan, before long, you'll reach what the pilots call a cruising altitude.
That's good.
Where the pressures don't affect you quite like they used
That's
to.
good.
Repurpose the pressures in your life, and God will do amazing things like you've never seen before.
Praise God.
I'm Pastor Jermaine.
And I'm Pastor Alicia.
Thanks again for tuning into this week's Lift. We'll be back next week with another inspiring word, sure to give you the lift that you need to enjoy your week. God bless you. We love you.
God bless you. We'll see you next week.